All right, hey everyone. Let me make sure I'm working here. Yep, good. Uh, Welcome, small group. Glad you decided to come and join us. It's been a minute. It's actually been kind of a week, if you will, since we did the live stream. And yeah, so this is our first foray back into live since then. And as you can tell, we had to work out a couple technical difficulties. It said we were going, but we weren't. So I don't know. But here we are. It's working now. It seems to be working now anyway. So thank you for coming. As always, or as we're really trying to continue to do this live on YouTube thing, we have Ellis. He's right over there.
What up?
He is watching the chat. So if you comment, he will be able to read it and relay it to me, so we can talk kind of in real time. I think I'm a little further ahead than I was last time. So you probably won't notice, but I'll probably do a decent bit of rambling, and you'll probably think, oh, I submitted my answer, but he hasn't said anything. I probably did. You just haven't gotten to that point yet. So, yeah, we're going to try another game here. That's what we're going to do, and that's kind of why I gave that preface. But let's see. Let me get to the screen. Give me 1 second here. We're going to play a game called Destination Unknown. So basically what's going to happen in this game is you're going to see really pixelated images of famous landmarks, okay? And I'm going to gradually decrease the pixelization, and the first person to be able to tell me what the landmark is as the pixelization decreases will be the winner. So essentially I won't fully depixelate it until somebody's guessed it, because if I go all the way, obviously it'll give you the answer. It'll tell you. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna play. Ellis, let me know if people know how this is gonna go. Because last time we tried to play a game here, I don't know, people weren't getting me, and but we're here now. So hopefully that one makes a little more sense. We can do one as a test if we need to, but yeah, should be fun. We're gonna try this here in a minute. So let me know what they say. Again, I think you are a little behind, so I'm just gonna ramble until it's a beautiful day outside today. If you haven't been outside, you should go outside, because it's like in the 80s. I actually have a couple of our students are in the room with me. The Holland boys are here. So they're chilling. So there's 4 of us in here, complying ultra hard with social distancing rules. People get in the game?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
All right. Okay, you're ready. We're ready. Okay. So here's the first one. I'm going to do my best to pretend that you're in this room, because I will unpixelate it. So if somebody can get it at this stage, then we're just going to quit the game. You win. But this would be pretty impossible. So here we go. Depixelate by 1, 2, 3, 4. Still would be really difficult to get this if you don't know what it is already. All right, this is halfway. Starting to look like one of those little glass tile mosaic things going on here. Here we go. Okay. It's getting a little easier, but I think this would still be pretty difficult. What is it? 7, 8. All right, I'm going to leave it at 8. I have one more I can go before it's revealed, before.
Go. I don't think the image is showing up on the screen.
Bruh. I know why. I actually know why. Okay.
Okay.
Bam. There it is.
It was literally just you clicking, saying, "How about this?
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
this? How about this?"
Look, you got to read my mind, people. Okay. Still trying to work out the kinks here, but it should be there. You should now see a pixelated image. Thanks for letting me know. But here it is. I will show you the title slide again, just so you know.
Okay, we good.
Destination Unknown. Did you let me get all the way through that before you told me?
Pretty much.
No, like on the video too?
What do you mean?
Like, I was pretty far in before you decided to tell me that you couldn't see
no,
anything?
We didn't see
I know, but okay.
We weren't sure.
All right, cool. What? It's all good.
Level 7 or whatever it was, like still was just you sitting there.
Right. Oh, I know what the problem was at this point.
Robert Green says hi, Elijah.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Robert? I know who you are. That's Jader. What's up, Jader? Okay, now you can see it. Destination unknown. Okay, so you know the rules. Here we go. This is the first one. Like I said, if you can get it from this, props. We're just gonna end the game. Game over. Or I'll just do it without any image. You'll just see me looking at the screen. I was trying to get a head start, play by myself. All right, here we go. So this is 1. We're going to go a little quicker this time because I know you ain't kidding at this point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Alright, we got a guess.
All right, what's the guess?
The Colosseum.
Wow, that is correct.
Whoa.
That is correct. The Colosseum.
Yep, it was Josh.
Did you cheat?
No, I didn't cheat.
Bro. Okay, well,
Cheat, bro. I didn't
you can see the answers right here. All right,
Yeah?
fine. You can.
Bet.
You can.
Oh, okay. I won't play him.
All right. Well, Josh got it right. It's the Colosseum, right there. Yeah. So good job.
Do you not see it?
Good job. All right. Number 2. Number 2. Boom. Josh, what's this one? Smart guy.
I'm not gonna say it. I can see it. I can see it.
All right. Josh is exempt. Josh is banned from playing this game because he has now realized he can see the answers. Okay, here we go. I think my volume's a little hot still. I'm getting excited. All right, no, this is landmarks. Landmarks. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might I don't know. If you're really thinking about it, you might be able to tell here. So I'm gonna leave it here for a second. All right, 6, 7. Okay, getting pretty close.
Alright, we got one.
All right, what is it?
Mount Rushmore.
No, incorrect. That's okay. This is pretty good. I can depixelate it even one more time.
We got another one.
What is it?
Golden Gate Bridge.
That is correct.
Tessa.
Tessa.
Yes, Tessa, the game champion on our YouTube channel, pretty much. All right, Golden Gate Bridge is correct. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. Good job. All right, next. Okay. Can you tell decently how far behind it is?
14.
Roughly. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. It seems to be working anyway. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Pretty much no way. You're gonna know it at this point. 6, 7, 8. Maybe. If you know that they're landmarks, I'm going to leave it at 8 for a second here. See if we get any guesses.
First one, the Grand Canyon.
No.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Alright, another one.
Yes.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I'm going to see if anybody will field one more before I get to 9.
Alright, we got kind of a guess.
Okay.
New York.
New York. No. It is not New York. A little too green to be New York.
Okay. This is the Great Wall.
Who said that?
Tanner.
This is the Great
Yeah.
Wall. Tanner,
Word for word.
he is correct. It is the Great Wall. He said it with such confidence. This is the Great Wall. It wasn't even a question. He just said, guys, for your information, this is the Great Wall. Well, good job, Tanner. That's why we pay you the big bucks. All right. Tanner doesn't get paid anything, just so you know. Okay. All right, here we go. This is number 4 of, I think, like 10. Or 9, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna pause at 5 every time. But I know I keep saying this about them, but if you get this one at number 5, this will have been the greatest feat, probably of your lifetime. That's not true. That's not true. You've all done great things. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on, unless you see a guest come through.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 6, 7, 8. Getting close. How about 8? What about 8? All right, you know? Do you know, bro? It is not the Grand Canyon. Y'all like obsessed with the Grand Canyon out here.
Well, now I know what it is, but it doesn't look anything like it. Now it does. No.
One of the Jefferson clan says Ellis's house.
Ellis's house.
Incorrect.
Yeah, not correct.
All right, we got another one.
All right.
Sears Tower.
No.
Okay.
Good guess though. I could see that. Good guess.
What about
This series
Big Ben.
Taj Mahal?
Big Ben.
Do you know?
Technically yes, but what is that whole place called? That should be easy. So we'll count Big Ben because it is featured in this picture, but it's the whole thing.
Wait, and I actually have some credit. I just went up in the chat and Miss Jefferson said Great Wall before.
Oh.
really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I didn't see that.
She said it before like Grand
Controversy. Did Tammy get Great Wall first?
Tomorrow Jefferson. You see it?
Yes, but I'm not sure if that was the one before or if that was.
Oh right,
you know,
right. That's
I
Uh,
think it was the one before.
all right. Well, did anybody say? How about this?
We got some people just saying London.
Yeah, I mean it's London.
Okay.
We're gonna count Big Ben though. That's definitely the right answer. The answer I was looking for was more like Parliament, but because that's Parliament all along the shore there. But yes, London is actually what it labeled it. So
That was Morgan who said Big Ben.
Morgan,
Shout out.
shout out. Okay, Riverside crew, man, much love. All right, here we go. Next one. There's a chance you could get this one on this image alone. So I'm gonna leave it for a second here. And if you get this one, it'll still be impressive, but not as impressive as if you gotten some of the other ones. So somebody just throw a wild guess out there. Just reckless abandon. You literally have nothing to lose. Let's see. Yeah, you could. I think you could get it, to be honest.
All right. First guess. Greece.
Just all of Greece? No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Greece.
Okay, hey, but you went out there, you committed. I'm proud of you.
Greece is actually not a bad
Whoever you are.
Mount Rushmore.
Who said that?
Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Tammy?
It is Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
See, I knew you could get it. There it is. The gray and the blue sky. It's like an iconic Mount Rushmore picture.
She said great.
You've been out of school a while, Ari. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Here we go. All right, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna leave it at 5. Yeah. I don't really see you getting this at 5. This could literally be anything at this point. So.
All right. First guess is Washington Monument.
No, but hey, I think that's a pretty good guess.
Look what it looks like at one.
Jesus thing in Brazil.
No, what is it? El Cristo Redentor, I think is what it's called. And no, not that. That's not a bad guess either, to be honest. I think there's a little too much green because that's like on a cliffside, I'm pretty sure. But that could be water. It's,
I don't think.
All right, we're gonna move on.
I don't think that's
6.
actually where that is. I thought that was in like a square, not in the middle of nowhere.
What? Oh, this.
You know the
This.
answer. I'm not gonna say.
Oh,
it till you
okay.
show it.
Well, I think you're looking at it from one side. Like the
I
opposite.
can't
Can
see
you imagine
it.
just walking on the country?
The opposite side of it. The opposite side of it.
Oh, do you
I
not
think
know
is
what
what
it
you're
is?
No, I
thinking.
haven't seen it yet.
All right, this one you could get. I think you could get it from here. This one you can get it from this one. Let's see. If it's Tammy, do not answer.
The
Eiffel Tower is yes.
From
Tessa.
Tessa.
Yes.
Tessa the legend. Tessa the legend. It is the Eiffel Tower. See, look, Josh, in the background. That's the side of it you were thinking of, right there. It is like the Lincoln Memorial. You know how it's on that long, really long like water lake thing. That's kind of similar to how this is. Anyway, yes, Paris. All right, this one's gonna be the easiest of the group. I know somebody can get it from this picture. I know you can. So I'm gonna leave it at 1. I'm gonna leave it at 1. Somebody dethrone Tessa, okay? Somebody get in there and get this faster than her. The Grand Canyon.
What-
It
what
is
is the
not.
Grand Canyon? It's
It
not
is.
that dry.
It is not the Grand Canyon.
Okay, pyramids is the first answer.
From who?
Lindsay. Settler.
Lindsay Chavis Stetler. Lindsay Chavis Stetler is correct. The pyramids.
Dude, Tessa was like right behind.
There you go.
That was close.
Tessa.
Yeah.
None of these are my house. Why is that I keep
I'll see
popping
you
up in
later.
the chat?
All right. See you, gentlemen. See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
will be in the chat.
Cool. Now you can officially answer.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, pyramids. We got 3 more here. So, here we go. This one you're not gonna be able to get from this. I'm very confident. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Nope. Nope. Not happening. Not happening. I'm certain of it. Your house again?
No.
Is okay.
Tanner said, "Oh, the cheaters are gone."
All right. Let's see. Any guesses? Any wild guesses here?
Ellis's house.
No.
Don't know.
Hint, this would be a fantastic house. Well, I don't know. Depends on how you think about it. But anyway, you could live in it. In fact, call me ignorant, but I'm pretty sure somebody lives in it. Anyway. No guesses? All right, let's go. 6, 7. Ooh, somebody can get it. You can get it right here if you know your landmarks.
Okay, we got one.
What is it?
Taj Mahal.
It is the Taj Mahal. Who said that?
Lindsay
Tessa?
Stetler again.
Oh, wow. Lindsay, with that good internet connection, getting the clues before everyone else. That's a beautiful building. So these are obviously all landmarks, so they're all pretty impressive, but I like to build, I mean, nothing's more impressive than the pyramids if you give like the context of the time in which they were built. However, the dome on the top of the Taj Mahal is like legit. I don't know how it's so perfectly round, and it's probably made of like really heavy blocks. I don't know. Inspiring. It's inspiring. Okay, here we go. This one you got the darkness theme here, so might give you a hint. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe. I'm pretty sure I say maybe because I already know the answer, but maybe, just maybe. I'm gonna leave it. I said I would leave it at 5. I'm gonna leave it at 5. See if anybody gets it. Oh man. Whew. I don't know. This is gonna be tough. What's up?
First guess is Batman's car.
Batman's car. That car has a name, and I'm offended that you didn't use it. It's called the Batmobile, and no, incorrect. If only that really existed. That would be incredible. Any more? All right, I'm gonna keep going. 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna leave it at 8. I think you might get it at 8. Let's see. Now this one is one that many of our viewers could have gone to at some point. Pretty easily.
Okay. First one is Times Square.
Times Square. Who said that?
Guess who?
Tessa.
Yep.
It is Times Square. Tessa, have you played this game before? Have you played this game before? You can tell that this picture is old. First of all, Mamma Mia is a billboard. Not still around. Obviously, Mamma Mia still exists, but that's not an active thing at the moment. Also, there are people in Times Square. Meaning, it is old. It is old. But RIP social interaction for now. Okay, here we go. Last one. You could maybe guess this one from the outset. So, I'm going to leave it at number 1. You could maybe guess this one. Also, as a hint, somewhere you very realistically could have visited before. So, let's see what the guesses is. If Tessa answers first, just keep it in your mind, but don't tell me.
Okay.
She can still win. Obviously, if somebody's going to dominate a game, I'm not going to prohibit that. But she got the gift card last time, and now she's slaying like every other answer. So,
Okay.
do you have? Okay,
Yosemite.
that's Yosemite. I think you were saying,
Yes.
and no, incorrect.
Okay. All right, we got another one.
Ella said Yosemite,
Yosemite.
just in case you didn't hear him.
From-
I had to roast you, man. I had to. Okay, what's the other
All
one?
right. Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers. No.
It's
No.
a little dark.
Well, I mean, they did exist at one point.
All right, another one.
Yeah.
Easter Island.
Easter Island. No.
Okay. Ellis's Yard.
Ellis's Yard. Would be a fantastic yard, but no. Okay, we're gonna start revealing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. I think somebody's gonna get it off this one.
Got another one.
Yep.
PCC.
PCC. No. Sorry. I know it would be a nice conclusion to hit you with the PCC building at the end of this game, call it a landmark, but nah, this is a legit one.
The Grand Canyon.
No. Was that Ari? Was that Ari?
No, that was
Oh.
one of the Jefferson clan.
Okay.
Okay, got another one.
Yeah.
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest. No.
All right, got another one.
Okay.
Central Park.
Central Park. No.
Okay.
I'm going to reveal a couple more. 6, 7. Yo, okay. You can get it at 7. You can get it at 7. I'm confident. It's going to be Tessa. I know it. I know it. I know it. Let's see. At 7, I feel super confident that you can get it here. Nobody?
Not yet.
Not yet. They're probably still getting there on the
Alright.
stream.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The White House.
The White House is correct. Who said that?
Morgan. Again.
More. She's with Tessa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something going on there.
All right. Yeah. There's a conspiracy. Y'all outside the window. I don't know. But yes, it is the White House. Bada bing, bada boom. That would be a very nice yard. The best part about it, you wouldn't ever have to cut the grass. Because people getting paid a lot of money get to do that. I actually don't know if they're paid a lot of money. You just assume that, but maybe they're not. Anyway, cool. Well, that is the game. Unknown, or Destination Unknown. So, if we play this again, which I think it was fun, you can add, like, your own images. These were the ones that it came with, but you can add all your own images. So, it'd be fun to do, like, I don't know, landmarks around our various counties and stuff. Although, if you're in Fluvanna and we do a Powhatan landmark, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage and vice versa. So, maybe not a great idea. Either way, I had a good time. Hope y'all had a good time. All right, that's the end of the game. Sweet. No prize this time. Which, Tessa, by the way, you still haven't DM'd me about your gift card. I need to give you the gift card from last time. So anyway, all right, here we go. Cool. Well, hey, I hope you enjoyed the game. Like I said last time, this format, this live format, gives us the opportunity to do stuff like that. Just more fun, more interactive. I want to make a note about it, though, because those of you who are on Discord, thank you, by the way, for helping make that Discord. I think we have like over 60 people in there, which has been pretty cool. But it's no secret that it hasn't been super active lately. So when all this started, when all the coronavirus lockdown, shutdown stuff started, we knew sort of everything was going to be like an experiment. So I knew about Discord before, everything. I actually used it on and off before this and thought, well, it'd be sweet because it's a place we can all get together. We can tag each other. And there's still a little like, I always struggle to say this word, anonymity to it. I think I said it right. Nailed it. Which I think is nice for people who maybe are just getting involved with PCC students, or some of you who would rather not, have people know exactly who you are if you're going to air something out in a small group conversation. So I like that. And then the pre-recorded videos on YouTube, and then flowing into that, selfishly made for just a little bit of a easier afternoon for me personally, because I wasn't up here doing this live. But, however, after doing 2 weeks ago small group online, doing the 44-hour live stream, I think we generally decided that the live is the way to go. Y'all seem to enjoy it way more. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. If you're like, no, I'd rather just talk in Discord, that's fine. I want to be able to talk about the things of God and talk about how we're doing in the most effective way possible. So, with that being said, we're going to keep the Discord around, but probably use it more for the application that it's being used for right now. Just a quick way to get information to you and have some fun with memes. I know Tammy Jefferson's been has always lit up the Discord with memes, so which has been fun. I actually like that we have that meme page on there, but so I want to keep it, but moving forward, we're going to keep our chat discussions in YouTube, like doing it live, because that way I can interact at the same time, and like act in real time and be able to talk it and speak it, and then it's here forever. Obviously it is in Discord too, but you kind of have to scroll through the conversation or whatever to find it. So yeah, that's how we'll go moving forward. Still going to link the Discord everywhere in the description of all our videos. Still want people to join it. Still want you to be an active part of it. But we're not going to bounce the Discord to do small group discussions anymore. So that's cool. We're going to do it that way. Today, though, I want to talk a little bit about God's provision. I have a question for you, okay? So you can literally put this question in the chat. I'm going to address it here in just a minute, because it's more of a fun question. But is there something about you that people say that you always do? So you've probably heard it said like before, oh, so-and-so always does that sort of thing. Or like, oh yeah, I would always do this. One example for me is Tanner's in the chat right now. He'll think this is funny. But anytime a picture of me gets taken, okay, some people just have like great smiles, okay? Like their closed mouth, like teeth showing smiles are great. I don't know how you do it, but it's not me. It could have something to do with the roundness of my cheeks. But it is what it is. So I always smile like with my mouth open, because it's the only way. If I smile with my teeth closed, my lips are like this far apart. You know what I mean? So it looks really dumb. So apparently, according to Tanner and my wife, actually, Megan, anytime a picture of me is taken and I go to smile, I always do this head thing, which I'll do for you in a second, but I want to continue to describe it. Apparently, I always do this head thing where I like open my mouth and shake my head and smile. I don't know. I disagree, but they're two of the people that know me the most, so maybe there's some truth to it. But they say that the point is Tanner says that I always do this. So a picture will be taken. I'll be like, say cheese, and he does it really dramatically, okay? He does it super dramatic. I know it's not as dramatic as he does it, but he says I always go, they say cheese, and I always go to smile, which, again, it's definitely not that violent, but maybe I do a little head whip. I don't know. He says I always do that, though. Point is I don't always do that. Like, literally, if you go by the definition of always, It's just not true. So, did anybody answer?
Oh,
Did anybody answer my question?
we got some great answers.
All right. What did they say?
First of all, I'll get Tanner out of the way.
Okay.
You brought him up. He says, yes, in all caps. He also says, DJ Khaled tells him all he does is win.
What? DJ Khaled told Tanner all he does is win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
All right, my guy. Okay. What else?
Lindsay says, I procrastinate, and that face I always make.
Oh, yeah. Her face is like. She does that. With her lips. Okay, what else?
Tessa says, I relate everything to song lyrics.
Tessa relates everything to song lyrics. Do you sing them out loud? Because people have accused me of that before, too. Like, I'll just make a song out of everything. And I kind of have a melody that I always go to. But, okay, relate everything to song lyrics. Cool. What else?
Z says, I always have an attitude.
Did Z say that? Or...
Mm.
Apparently, Z says he always had an attitude, but it's on his mom's account. So, I think Tammy just threw him under the bus a little bit. I don't know.
Well, Morgan backed him up. She said she always has an attitude and a smart mouth.
Morgan does? Always has an attitude and a smart mouth? Okay. So, it sounds like they're answering with things that they actually feel like they know about themselves. Or maybe this is what gets told to them all the time. Anything else?
I'm always a drama queen. Says Mama T. So we know.
Yeah,
it's
we
her.
know that one was with his signature. Always a drama queen. Okay, I plead the fifth there. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We love you. Anything else?
Tanner says you're Lindsay impression.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Unfortunately, I spent enough time with her. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, there are things that people say that we always do, but, you know, Lindsay's not always making that face, right? Tammy's not always a drama queen by the actual definition. That would mean, like, literally every moment of the day, she's a drama queen, which is not the case. I'm not always going around making that smiling face with the head motion. Like, it's not the case. I bring that up because this little series or whatever we're going to do, I'm kind of unsure at this point exactly what this is going to turn into. But for tonight, the title of this little talk that we're going to give, this discussion we're going to have, is called Never Not. Now, you could say always to say never not. In fact, most grammar police would say don't use a double negative. It's inappropriate. However, I feel like the word always, we kind of use a lot in the terms that we were just talking about. We say always, but we don't actually mean it. It's like when we say, I love you, like the word love. We use that about many things when love goes a lot deeper than we normally use it. I love pizza. Well, okay, fine. You really like pizza, but you don't actively go out of your way to support pizza. You don't go get the groceries for pizza when it can't. You don't tuck pizza in at night. You don't, if you have a kid, you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, love is like an action, and all you do with pizza is eat it. But you use the word love anyway. So that's the same with always, I think. We use that when we don't actually mean it. However, the word never, we don't use the same way. Now, sometimes we do. Oh, I would never do that. But you might. But we don't use it nearly as much that way. When we say never, we mostly mean it. Like, no, never going to happen. I do that with particular foods. Like, I've tried black beans before. I completely hate them. And at this point, I can confidently say, never going to have them again. Like, unless it was literally my only food or I was going to starve to death, never going to happen. Just not. So we tend to use the word never more like its actual meaning. Meaning like never, not ever going to happen. So in reference to never not, we're going to talk about a couple of characteristics or things that God does that he always does in the proper sense of the word or never stops doing. Tonight we're going to talk about his provision. Now, provision is, it's not necessarily a big word at all, but it's one that we don't necessarily use. We talk about like getting our needs met or having the things that we need, but provision more is, somebody, to use the word in the definition, providing those things for us. So in the case of God, we're going to talk about how God is never not providing. And Scripture is going to help us see that in two places in Scripture. We're going to go to the book of Matthew and James and talk about some stuff there. So, we're going to start in Matthew chapter 6. Now, if you haven't read Matthew before, I can't encourage that enough, particularly all of the Gospels. If reading the Bible just isn't your thing, I told you that I would say this pretty much every time that I spoke. You need to make it your thing. You need to at least try it. Give it a chance. Actually read it. Actually focus, because there's so much in here that Jesus promises and comforts us with, and also warns us about, that you could really use literally every single day. What we're about to read is one such thing. So this is Matthew chapter 6. Just to give you a little context, Jesus right now is giving what is, in our time, his most famous sermon, if you will. We call it the Sermon on the Mount. He's talking to just a ton of people on just a little hillside about pretty much everything, generally, that their life would have to offer. It starts out very beautifully to address the people there, and then it talks about divorce, being the salt and light of the earth, eye for an eye, that whole idea of eye for an eye, but Jesus sort of flips that on his head. Loving your enemies, giving to the needy, etc. How to pray, all that. So he also addresses worry, or worrying about not being provided for, if you will. And that happens in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, and so on. And I'm just going to read for a little bit here, and then we're going to talk about it. And after I read, I'm going to ask you a question that you can put in the chat again, and then, go through that whole thing. I think you get it at this point. But here we go. This is Matthew 6, verse 25 and on. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about your clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? I'm going to stop right there and ask you two questions, kind of a two-parter. You can choose to answer one or the other or both, however. First, what about those few verses stuck out to you? Is there anything in there that maybe resonated with you while I was reading it? Secondly, are you somebody who struggles with worry, particularly worrying about what tomorrow will bring, or not having enough of something that you feel like you need? So this particular passage, Jesus uses the examples of food and clothing and food. I mean, eat or drink. So food, water, if you consider that drink, and then clothes. Now, you have to realize that those are obviously like kind of our essential needs, right? I think Jesus does this for two reasons. First is the crowd he's talking to is a lot of poor people. Like they would legitimately have this worry each day. Like, am I going to have food for tomorrow? Am I going to have food for my kids to eat? Or am I going to have to wear this same outfit that I've been wearing for a few weeks? Or is it going to finally, just sort of deteriorate and rot away? Am I going to even have clean water to drink? Those would have been like legitimate concerns for the people listening. If you're watching this, I can easily wager that you don't really worry about those things, like, at all. Maybe some of you do. And if that's you, like, we literally have methods to help you, particularly a food pantry here at the church. Like, if you're worried about where your next meal is going to come from, don't. We can get you. Just private message Ellis or I. Like, we want to help you with that. But if you're in the majority of people watching this, you don't really worry about what you're going to eat. You know that when you wake up, You're going to be able to walk downstairs and either breakfast is going to just be made for you, or you're going to be like able to just easily go to the pantry and get whatever it is that you want. These people didn't have that worry though. So in order to put it, or these people actually did have that worry. You and I really don't. So to put it in our context, maybe our current context, maybe you could replace it with social interaction. Is that as necessary as food? No. But it feels kind of necessary now, doesn't it? Like, most of us took it for granted. Some people really loved and needed to be around people, so they knew this was going to be hard. But even the most severe introverts among us at least miss somebody, right? Maybe you don't want it to go. Maybe you kind of like that you don't have to make excuses and not hang out with people anymore. I've heard that from a couple people. But you at least probably miss somebody that you feel like you can't see right now. And you might be worried, like, I would be lying if I didn't think at some point during this, like, yeah, in a couple months, the rules might get a little looser, but is it ever really going to be the same? Like, is something about how we live going to change permanently now? And I don't know. So sometimes that kind of worries me a little bit. And I kind of ride the line between introvert and extrovert. I honestly don't even know where I fall. Sometimes I really, really like being alone, but I feel most alive when I'm around people. I feel recharged most when I'm around people. So I guess that would make me an extrovert. But anyway, the point is maybe that's more appropriate for us. You don't really have to worry about your food, but this social interaction, this social distancing that we have to follow, is that ever going to go away? We don't know. And Jesus says, look, I'm going to provide all you need in that area. I did it for you before. What would stop me now? Also, if I take care of the birds or the flowers of the field, don't you think I care way more about you than I do those things? So why wouldn't I take care of you? And so I'm going to address the chat now, if we got any responses to that.
Kind of. Dave says he misses.
Okay. David, thank you. I miss you too, buddy.
Brittany says, I feel that.
You feel that? Yeah. The social part, I'm guessing? Okay.
That was the last.
Okay. Fair enough. So, all right. So I guess y'all aren't really worried about anything. So maybe what I'm saying right now is useless. So I might as well just end the stream. No, I'm just kidding. No. So what I'm trying to get at is my first point for this talk is, and I've already said it, but just to lay it out plainly, God is never not providing. I'm going to say that again. God is never not providing. Meaning, every single breath that you take is a gift, is provision from God. You might not see it that way. You might be able to rationalize it away and be like, no, like my lungs are doing that. If I think about it, I can do that myself. The trees are making the air that I would, that I'm breathing in. So he's got to really providing that. And the question would be, well, who made the trees able to do that? And did you create the tree that can provide the oxygen? No. God did. Did you even make the seed? Sure, maybe you planted it, but did you make the seed? No, of course not. God did. And so, following that, it kind of all goes back to God. Now, the air you breathe seems like a pretty generic one and pretty reasonable, but let's say the money you have. It would be a lot easier to say, no, well, I work for that, right? So I'm kind of earning that myself. I agreed to take a job and work for that on my own. I put in all this effort to make the money I make, so I'm kind of doing that myself. And yeah, in one sense, you're right. But the question then would be, who gave you the capacity to even do that job? Who equipped you with the unique skill set to accomplish the task? Whether it's like a literal job or chores that you do at home. For our middle schoolers, maybe you do chores at home and you kind of worked out a deal with your parents to get paid a little bit from that. Yeah, you could say, well, I do my chores. That's how I get my allowance. But who gave you the ability to even do those things, right? Well, that would be God. Yeah, you have to take a little bit of initiative to make it happen. God's not going to just make you walk around or make money just sort of appear in your lap, although that's not out of the realm of his possibility. But he usually doesn't do that. He expects us to put in our part. He's equipped us to do the work. Now we got to do it. It doesn't change the fact that God provided it all. And so what I'm saying is there's never a moment in your life where God isn't providing in some way. That is just a blanket statement. Blanket statement of fact. If we move over to James, which is the second book that I wanted to read from tonight. This is James chapter 1. By the way, James is a writer. He wrote this particular letter here that differs in tone from like a lot of the other letters in the New Testament. Whereas Paul really likes to talk about like your spirituality. Well, Paul talks about everything, but he really focuses more on like your spirituality and how to become the righteous person God's called you to be on the inside and how that's going to manifest itself on the outside. James is all about action. He really doesn't have time. He writes in a way that he really doesn't have time to mess around. Maybe he knew this was going to be the one letter he was going to write. So he was like, well, I got to get it out there, and I'm just going to tell you that you either do these things or you don't, and here are the consequences or the benefits of either way. And you get to choose, but here it is. So in James chapter 1, he addresses this. I'm going to skip around just a little bit. We're going to start in James chapter 1, verse 5. And it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault. And it will be given to you. Excuse me. But here's the key. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Yowza. He kind of hit you at the end there. Like I said, doesn't really have time for those people, it seems. But the point is if any of you lacks wisdom, you could, obviously the context is in which he was writing, wisdom is what he meant to say there, but you could put any of your basic needs in that slot, I think. If any of you lacks shelter, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. We got to ask, and then we got to recognize it. He goes on later to say in verse 16 of the same chapter, don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. Every good and perfect gift comes down from above. Every one. All of them is the point. God is always providing, and every good thing that you have can be traced back to God. You have to be careful here, though, because you don't want to say everything comes down from above, because then you could really start getting into some bad things, i.e. COVID-19, the coronavirus. No, God did not send the coronavirus on us. We aren't exactly sure how it happened, but there are theories. The point is we know that God didn't do that because he doesn't do that sort of thing. And that's pretty much decided that it's not a good thing. It has had some, I guess, silver linings, if you will. The opportunity to slow down a little bit, to rest a little bit more, to realize what's actually important. But the actual coronavirus that's hurting people and infecting people, not good. Therefore, not sent from God. Every good and perfect gift comes down from above. That's what it says. So if you pair the James verse with the Matthew verse, God promises to give you all that you need, and that we don't need to worry about it. But the second part of my statement, God is never not providing, is this. But we have to actively look for it. God is never not providing, but we have to actively look for it. See, it's so easy to go through your life and take for granted all of the good and perfect gifts from God. I've done that. I would say more times than I can count, but I even think that's an understatement. Like, if you really believe that the clothes you wear and the food that you eat and the drinks that you drink are all gifts from God, all provision from God, then every single one of us lives the majority of every single one of our days not giving credit for that stuff to God. And I don't necessarily think that you would need to go through your life and at every moment be like, God, thank you for my shoes. Like every step you take, because nobody's going to live like that. And that's not what Jesus asks us to do. I think more than that, we need to actively consider and at some point thank God for all that he's done. I'm certainly not perfect at so many things, but one of the things that I've done recently in my life is pretty much every prayer that I pray, before meals, before bed, in the morning, whenever it is that I pray, I try and make a point to say, God, I know that you've provided everything in my life, and for it, I'm grateful. I want to give it back to you. And does that stop me from sometimes not realizing that in the moment? No, it doesn't. But it's a reminder for myself, even more than the acknowledgement that I know it came from God, which he likes, by the way. But it's a little bit of a reminder for myself that, hey, without God, I wouldn't have any of the things that I consider good or that I need. I know that. And so one of the things that we can do, you and I can do, is maybe you can add similar language to that in the prayers that you pray. Whenever that you pray, maybe consider saying, God, I know that every good and perfect thing comes from you that I have. So thank you. Even that would be enough. The recognition that God is always providing for you can change your life, can make you take less things for granted, can make you appreciate even the little things that you have in your life. I know some of you are kind of already at this spot, but even if you're not, take a second and put it in the chat. Participate in the chat here, people. What are some things that you know God has provided for you specifically? Now, let's get this out of the way. We could all say food and water and air and things like that, and shelter. But maybe specifically in your life, what are some things that God has provided for you that you know, that you're certain that he's provided? One of the things that God has really taught me in my life over the past few years, I mean, this has been a few years worth of lesson for me, is financially. There have been several days, weeks, even months where my family, like, it wasn't like we were going to get kicked out of our house or anything dramatic like that, but it was like we don't necessarily know how we're going to pay the bills and get the stuff we need without putting something on a credit card. You know, it's one of those things. And particularly when Oakland, my daughter, was born, because the hospital bills that just necessarily come with that came, and between our jobs, you know, we don't necessarily have the greatest health coverage, so we put a lot of that like in a debt that we then had to pay off, which we've done a lot of work there. But there were several times where it was like, we don't really know how we're going to make it. But God, every single time, showed up. And without getting into the specifics of my finances, there were literally times where money that we didn't expect would just come. And sure, there would be logical traces back to like how they got there. It necessarily wasn't like some magic sum of money from some clerical error showed up in my bank and nobody cared about it. But the fact that they happened when they did, exactly when we needed them to, is provision from God. Absolutely. And I believe that with 100% of who I am. Even though I can trace back, oh, we got a refund for this thing. Well, yeah, we should have gotten that refund forever ago. And if we did get that forever ago, we probably would have spent it on something we didn't need. it showed up at just the exact right time, right? Like, that's provision from God. When we needed it, God provided. And yeah, maybe he used other people or other circumstances to provide it, but guess what? It's no secret that God uses other people to do his work. It's very, very rare that a miracle just drops out of the sky, something like a parting of the Red Sea. I believe those things still can happen, but way more often than not, we've talked about this on here before, God works through people, individuals. And that's true with his provision as well. Why wouldn't it be? So, do we have any interaction?
We do.
Okay.
Z says, God gave me the gift of life when I was a baby when I had open heart surgery.
He had open heart surgery. So, okay. So, you survived that. And, see, yeah, I mean, life is his provision from God. Yeah, maybe through competent doctors and surgeons that helped you survive. You know, all of their ability to do that is provision from God for them, too. So, I actually had meningitis when I was like 11 days old and had to be in the NICU. And I don't know that I didn't have open heart surgery, but I have a similar story. What else?
Tessa says, God gave me family members who may not be related to me by blood, but are way more like family members than some who actually are related.
Yeah. So super, super close friends, people that you can rely on that feel like family. Yeah, absolutely provision. My friend circle is oftentimes like, you know, the rock I need, particularly my closest friends, have helped me get through mentally a lot. And so, yeah, I understand that. What else?
Amy says, a home. Most people may not know that my boys and I were homeless in 2008. Thank God every day.
Yeah. I mean, that one's very real for you. Most of us don't have to worry about that, but you did. And yeah, the fact that God provided a home and that you still have one is great.
Brittany says, God has provided me with a job that keeps me stable, but also a job that enables me to help others. A sense of meaning, that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, job, for sure. Jobs can, not only do they make you money, but in your case, it sounds like it's not even necessarily about the money. It's more like the routine and the work you get to do, and it helps keep you grounded. Yes, absolutely.
Tanner says his wife, and Lindsay said her husband.
Okay. Youth leaders going for that marriage. No, I mean, yeah, I would absolutely say the same thing about Megan. I've tried to tell her several times, but words she said to me changed my life forever several years ago. And if that's the only thing she had ever done for me, she would still be, like, I would still be grateful that God provided. But she's obviously done infinite times more than that. So, one more.
Morgan says, God has given me some pretty cool people in my life that if I didn't have them, I don't know where I would be today. Helped me through a whole lot.
Yeah. So similar to what Tessa said. Yeah, people that you can rely on, depend on, who can help you through what you need. Yeah, all of that is provision, and so much more that we didn't name. Every good and perfect gift is from above. Everyone. So whenever you're struggling or you feel like you can't see God, you can know without a doubt. If you ask the question, why isn't God providing for me? Or is God providing for me? The answer is always yes, he is. He is. But it takes effort on our part to see it, to recognize it. And then when we do recognize it, telling God that we see it and acknowledge it is also key. Not because God needs that validation, but God does like to know that you see him working, because he's working for you in most cases, working so that you can prosper and the plan he has for your life can be carried out. But similarly, it's so we can remind ourselves that there's never a moment, God is never not providing. Never. And you can say that as a period, just blanket statement, fact. Just, are you and I going to take the time to see it and give God thanks for it? So I'm going to pray for us now, And that will end our time together today. I hope that you'll pick up Matthew and James. James is a really quick read. You can read James in, 30 minutes probably. And just, you could do that every day. And James has so much practical application for your life here and now. Of course, so does Matthew. Any words of Jesus do. So I'm going to pray for us now, and I hope that as we end, that you will know that God is never, never not providing. Let's you and I commit to seeing that provision and giving God thanks for it like we're going to do now. Let's pray. God, thank you for your provision, for our most basic needs like food and shelter and drink and clothes and all the things that you mentioned in your word and your sermon, but all of the other things too, like friends who have helped us out of dark times, who've kept us close when we felt distant. Lord, for spouses who love us unconditionally, who exemplify, who show your love to us each and every day. For a home, literally a home, so we can have a roof over our head. Lord, also for successful surgeries and health and jobs and everything that we could name that's good and perfect, Lord. It's been provided by you. So we give you thanks for it. We give you thanks 1,000 times over for it. May we always remember that you're never not providing. And will we just take a moment each day to recognize it and thank you for it, God. We love you and we thank you. And it's in your name that we always pray. Amen. Hey guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate the time. This is fun, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. We need to get some more people here. So invite your friends next week. We're going to go back to our normal schedule every week, 5:30 here on YouTube. The 44-hour live stream did a good number of getting our views and our subscriptions up to the channel, but there still could be plenty more people. So invite all your friends. It's so easy to share a link. And let's get this thing rolling. I really appreciate those of you who do come regularly. Thank you so much. Until next time, though, we will see you later. Goodbye.